Well, I guess we're back with more volumes of the Remarried Empress. I was trying to get like the title to show, but it's like foiled and not super
You can make it out. The only thing that's not coming through very clearly is the E.
there. You can have like two letters at a time. Um, so we're on volume. Oh, that one's hollow.
That one's like multicolor.
It's hollow, like holographic. It's hollow, bitch. I forget you don't watch people like Christine, so you don't get that reference.
No.
It's fine. Anyways, so volume 7 and 8. So we are forging ahead. Actually, I don't have any volumes after them. 9 might have come out recently, but I don't have 10 yet for certain. Um, so they're married finally. The divorce went through, she's married, whatever. And now she's taking care of things in her new home.
All sorts of new court drama.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's new women clawing at power around her and attempting to be another wife of the king. Notably Heinrich's brother's wife is trying to make a play here. Which is hilarious because you're the widow of the previous. Like, no, don't marry your husband's brother. Gross. Get the fuck out. Like, leave. Become dowager peacefully and go. You
Well, I
know?
don't I don't think her intention is ever to marry her husband's brother so much as it was just retain like popular political
No,
power.
no, it is.
Is she trying to marry
She
him?
wants to be married to him. She's in love with him, not his
Ah.
brother. She was in love with him. Um, so no, she wants to be married to him. Also, they explained it a little bit in the books, but in their kingdom, the tradition is that as dowager, she is supposed to retire to a country estate. Not only does she want to marry him, but she wants to marry him partially because she doesn't want to have to retire to a country estate.
That at least that was the motivation I got for a lot of her actions here. I
It's
didn't catch the that she was trying to marry him.
it's both. It's both. She has multiple reasons for wanting to be married to Heinrich. And then Rashta and Sylveshu come to visit.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought they went back.
Sorry, they go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go back.
How am I catching this? I haven't read this in months.
I don't know, man. I read it before you. Like Jesus, you know? Um, and her going back and seeing Rashta is of course drama filled as always.
Well, she
Because
listed it like a step-by-step guide on how not to fuck up
and guess what
Rashta.
Rashta did?
Everything she told her not to do.
Yeah. I mean, I understand being like slightly suspicious maybe of like instructions left to you by the person whose role you usurped, right? But like some of the instructions were like common sense. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, don't claim that you're the person who donated all this money when you're obviously not, you know? Like remember to do works of charity, try to keep things organized, limit your spending, etc. Seems like common fucking sense to me at least. But maybe I'm wrong here. You know, God forbid you be logical about what's happening. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Jesus. And of course, Rashta is still pregnant. Um, which I feel like so much time has passed. I feel like she should not be pregnant anymore, but like I guess my perception of time is just skewed because in 8 books, less than 9 months have passed, apparently. Um, but did you have something to say about that?
No, no, I mean I get it. I do see that like she went there, like the full remarriage has happened. Like the divorce has happened, the remarriage has happened, traveling there, settling down there, and coming back all happened in the space of 9 months. It is a little bit of a tight timeline at the moment.
Well, not even 9 months. It's less than 9 months because
Like,
Rashta's not close to her delivery date.
yeah, it's moving a bit like the story's moving a bit fast, or it's a dense at the very least.
Yeah, which is it's fine. I just wasn't expecting that, I think. Kind of it's easier like when you're reading them as a webtoon continuously, you don't really notice, but when you're seeing them laid out as volumes, wow, it's taking a long time for something for that stuff to progress.
If
So,
I had to criticize it, it kind of gives this entire situation a little bit of a soap opera feel to it.
yeah. Like we're real like Days of Our Lives style soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily the worst thing. Um, but eh. Soveshu insulting her wedding dress because she was grossly overdressed was pretty funny. Although once again, I feel like if your whole thing is you're trying to appeal to like the common people, maybe don't dress yourself like Gilgamesh's armory spit up on you. Maybe
Right.
I'm wrong.
The dress that would make Marie Antoinette blush.
Yeah, yeah. Remember the fucking diamond conspiracy? This is that, but she actually ordered it. She wasn't like it wasn't just a rumor about her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like Jesus, just so overdressed and shit. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, so Volume 8 ends with Rashta pretending like Navier pushed her so that she can like claim that Navier was trying to like attack her.
Right. They're
Because
trying to start an international incident.
all I can think of is like, girl, you won. Stop. Like you got the man. You're queen. Like you're married. You're the empress. Stop. You got
All
where
things,
you wanted to be.
all things considered, I mean, Navir has been a pretty gracious loser. Like she she's been a good sport about losing this entire thing.
Yeah. Like stop while you're ahead. Both of you are in situations that are to your benefit. Just take a chill pill. We don't gotta do this.
You don't gotta be a sore winner.
Yeah, like oh my God. Like at what point is it just meaningless torment, you know? Not even torment, meaningless attempted torment because the only person suffering here really at this point is Rashta. Like she's in a hell of her own making and she's just making it worse at every turn. Like and the thing is, you can also see that Soveshu is like caring less and less for her the more annoying and persistent she is about this grudge and like all of these things that she shouldn't be doing, you know? Like take your win. You're the empress. You're having his fucking baby. He wants a kid. Just be a pleasant person. Take your win. Live in the lap of luxury. Have someone feed you grapes while you lounge on your chair for the rest of your fucking life. And relax.
Okay, but that's like the hardest step for some people, didn't you know? Just not being a shitty person.
Well, it's Sovietshu isn't doing any better.
No, but Soveshu's not currently about to start an international incident at the moment. Not yet. He might
Oh,
be after this.
I was gonna say trying to get her to walk alone in the garden with him while her husband is standing there might not be the most diplomatic thing to do.
No, but falsely accusing of a push is,
Worse,
yeah.
yes. That is true. It is in fact worse. Yeah, it's just amazing how deep Rashta is digging this hole. And Sovietshu is not innocent at all, you know?
Hmm.
But I mean, if this is the hill they want to die on, then I guess this is the hill that they're allowed to die on. So how you feeling about it?
Honestly, not as positive as I was last time,
Is it dragging a
surprisingly.
little?
No, not that it's dragging so much. I feel like this is a flaw of how the earlier series was handled. We spent so much time before the remarriage here that now we have to introduce an entire new cast to keep Navir's side of the story at all interesting.
Well, I mean, she
Because
does move to another country,
yeah, no,
so.
it like logically, yes, that's what has to happen with the story. But
Mhm.
also, we're basically resetting the cast from zero there and like bringing over a few other people. It's like we're starting a new generation of fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, you know,
Meanwhile, all the most interesting stuff is still the drama happening back with Soveshu and Rashta, because that dumpster fire of a situation is like what made that early part so fascinating. Like,
it is not getting better. It is getting worse.
I'm curious about like what's her name trying to marry her brother's or her husband's brother or her dead husband's brother, but like right now, all I'm getting from her is Diet Navir. I need her to, or not Diet Navir, Diet Rashta. I need them to
Well,
take her in a slightly different direction because it's not really that interesting compared to the dumpster fire from before, and it's still the primary conflict is the dumpster fire from before.
yeah, and to ensure that Navier is the heroine no matter where she is, unfortunately, I think her name starts with an I, but for the life of me, I can't remember it right now. That Heinrich's, sister-in-law,
Hmm.
is kind of we haven't even really heard anything for her, but she's already in the role of Diet Rashta. And it's because Navier is the protagonist, arguably. And so she has to have you've frozen. Okay, you're good. She
Okay.
has to have an antagonist. And she just happened to be there.
I do 100% get it. I do. I wish it was handled maybe a little bit smarter, like maybe three, because we're at what volume now?
8.
Yeah, I wish maybe like a few volumes ago, maybe we started introducing this cast or something, and then integrating Navir into it. Sort of like how if you watch some of the early seasons of Game of Thrones, the casts have their plot lines going on separately, and they kind of converge and interweave in and out of each other, as opposed to
Mhm.
just throwing Navir into a new place, new cast, having basically a new storyline startup over there while we're still invested in the previous storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like that's just where I'm sitting here. Like the stuff with Rashta and Saveshu is still far and away the most interesting like politicking in this series. And I'm not saying the new stuff can't get really good. I'm just not on board with it yet, and I'm a little disappointed that we even the authors seem to like want to get uh Nivir back to the previous her previous kingdom as quickly as possible.
well, I can guarantee that that doesn't last, that like they will head home. I also do think I'm definitely going to have you keep reading this. If we don't have the volumes out in paper, I'll have you read it on Webtoon because you can access the older chapters and this is older chapters at this point. Um what I will say is I do know that from here Rashta and Sovietshu, in my opinion, are the more interesting characters. Like far more interesting than Heinrich and Navier from here on in the story. At least as far as I've read. And that funky politicking that's happening with Rashta and Sovietshu is only going to get more twisted and worse. And I'm interested to see how you react to that because we are going to be spending a fair amount of time focusing on the two of them, mostly because most of what's happening is happening to the two of them and not to Heinrich and Navier at this point. So
Mhm.
hopefully the next set of chapters we read is going to be more interesting. Um and set kind of a new tone for the amount of time that's going to be spent on each couple and what we're kind of talking about with each couple.
I'll say I did appreciate that they didn't make a big giant fuss about the the secretly being what was it? I forget uh the new husband's name, but his bird form. I do appreciate that we didn't make that a big giant ass arc.
Yeah, it was very quick and
Like
through.
it feels like that allows Naveer to be a lot more integrated into whatever's going to go on there quicker. At least I think.
Also, I think it's a pretty good indicator of the fact that it's a good representation in the story of Navier being a lot more pragmatic and logical when it comes to processing surprises like that.
Hmm.
She's not gonna sit there and obsess over it for like so long. It's like she's like, okay, I see it. I wish he told me, but I know now. I'll confront him. We're good. Let's go.
Hmm.
Which is nice to see. That doesn't always happen with those kind of reveals. And truly, Navier doesn't seem like the type of person who would be so bound up in that kind of thing. And so I think it would have been a little take me out of the story if the author had had her be so obsessed with it. But yeah. Did you have anything else to say about these two volumes?
Not particularly. I mean, that gets most of my thoughts out of the way there as far as just how where I'm at on the series right
Yeah, I think for me, I'm still feeling pretty damn good about it right now. But I do think that it's entered a phase where it needs to find its pacing again. Now that everyone's not in the same place.
now. Hmm.
Yeah. Right. Well, with that being said, we'll see you next time with whatever's next. Um, like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.